It's got to be Caleb.
Chargers.
It's got to be.
You would hope, but
We
all
hope
right.
so.
Chargers at Steelers here. Herbert, another quarterback I'm looking to bench for Baker and Derek Carr and Gino. Good God.
Is he playing?
Justin Fields, who I think is pretty much unstartable. You're getting 10 to 12 points here because he no longer runs the ball. He doesn't really throw the ball, and he's ultra conservative. That's winning formula there for fantasy. These are two, I would imagine, of the most run-heavy offenses here. It's all Dobbins and Edwards. It's all Najee and Warren. It's a mess, though, because it looks like both of these are splits. The receivers, I prefer Quentin Johnston than Ladd McConkey. I know a lot of you guys are McConkey. Pickens, I think, isn't getting enough volume because Fields isn't throwing. That's a problem. And Freiermuth, like we talked about with, you said Kmet. Freiermuth is getting 4 catches, 4 targets, 40 yards. That's probably tight end 8 on the season. So this is ugly, I guess. The quarterbacks aren't really worth talking about because you're not starting them outside of Superflex unless something's gone horribly wrong. I guess we talk running backs here. Dobbins, Edwards, Najee, Warren. Thoughts?
Sure. I'll talk about there's like one thing on the quarterbacks. They're both running a lot. Like Fields and Herbert are both running a lot. So you can talk about it. But like
for their lives. They're running for their lives.
It's 21 pass attempts a game for Fields. It's 23 for Herbert. They're not passing either in like LA. So like this is the issue with those wide receivers. So yeah, it's the running backs that are the most important by far. And like we're seeing J.K. Dobbins go nuclear because of that. Like it's just super efficiency, really good pass block or run blocking.
The problem is though, they're not actually rushing. They're both having 6 or 7, 8 rush attempts per game. It's just each running back's getting 15 carries a game is what they're doing.
Right. But like if you told me Fields was gonna be running this much, I'd be like, oh, wheels up. And then it's like, no, never mind.
Yeah. Not working out.
For me, I want J.K. Dobbins well over Gus Edwards. Dobbins is my one of these 4 backs. Then it goes Najee, Warren, and then a massive gap, and then another massive gap, and then a third massive gap, and then Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards is getting the ridiculous amount of volume that we want to see, but we saw this happen last year. We saw him score 13 touchdowns, and he was still barely back-end RB2. You just don't want to start Gus Edwards. You're hoping for 10 to 12 points. And if he doesn't get in the end zone, he's not going to give it to you. So I just can't do Gus Edwards anymore. He's sitting on my bench. I'm probably he's a cut candidate for me. I don't care what the matchup is. I want all of the J.K. Dobbins until he gets hurt. It's his backfield by far.
Yeah, like you want the touchdown from Edwards, but the thing is, like they're all splitting work very similarly. Like we saw week 2, Pittsburgh is doing exactly what freaking LA is doing, where it's kind of so like. At some point, Dobbins is going to come down because you cannot be this efficient. Like he's breaking every possible metric. We're talking like 9 yards of carry. Like that's NFL record.
Always has been.
He has been very good.
He's always done it.
Right, he's very good. Like I'm not saying he's not going to be very good, but this is similar like what Devon Achane was doing last year as a running back. Like you're seeing just stupid stuff from them. That it's really hard to be this efficient. And like particularly an offense that's not that good. So, like, I would not be shocked to see teams absolutely loading like 8 men in the box against the Chargers because you gotta beat them. I'd be like, dude, beat me some other way. Like, I get it. It's just it's rough. But yeah, Dobbins by far is top one.
Ranking the wide receivers here is not fun. I'm compelled to say George Pickens first because he has no competition. Yeah. He also has no pass volume. So I'm gonna go crazy here. I'm gonna go QJ, Pickens, McConkey, Palmer. Oh,
spicy. I don't hate it.
I think QJ's a league winner.
Yeah, like Pickens' role, what he's gonna do. Like QJ and McConkey, I think are kind of gonna go back and forth each week, where it's gonna be a little up and down. Well, Palmer's injured, so like when Palmer comes back, that throws another wrench into this whole mix of those guys. Pickens has been unlucky too, not as unlucky as Amari Cooper, but he had a offense pass interference. He had a touchdown that was negated. He had a couple things that went wrong last week where we'd be viewing it differently. So Pickens is a borderline top 20 wide receiver. Like I have these guys like all top 30, 35, where it's just like pick your favorite Chargers wide receiver for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Pickens, but I don't hate the call, Aaron. And with QJ, he's getting the usage so far. Sometimes with some of these guys who come into the league and they just face a bad situation, all they need is a little bit of confidence. He's had 2 good games in a row. He could string it together. So I'm a fan of like throwing a few bucks on him and taking the shot. I mean, he's picked up now. But if you got him for like $5-6 off the waiver wire, this morning, then I don't mind stashing him, seeing what he does, and it's possible he could be a wide receiver 3 for you all season. The volume's low, but he's looking good so far.
Yeah, it's just I watched the condensed game of that where they cut out all the shit you don't need to see.
Mhm.
And it's like he always had the size and the speed, but I see that it looks like it's an even target distribution. But when you watch the game, there's plays where you can tell it's like not the Debo role because he's not a running back type, but you can tell where just the way Herbert looks, the play is designed to go to QJ. He's not looking anywhere else. Like even when he throws the McConkey, it's not always it's McConkey on like the second read when he can't get it to Johnston. Johnston, it just seems like is his first read and they're scheming him up. And that's why I think he's less volatile than the rest. But in the end, it's kind of still the same where it's going to be whoever scores the touchdown is the best one there. The tight ends, I guess we're okay firing up Freiermuth if we have to.
Oof.
That's about it.
Yeah, too.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
yeah.
it's a similar, like, he's just not running enough routes. It's the issue with him. So it's like similar to Hurst on the other side. Like, pick your guy you want to tight end to get a touchdown. That's what we're talking about with these guys.
Yeah, and I think Darnell Washington was the one who got the touchdown last week as well, right? So, Arthur Smith being and doing Arthur Smith things.
Yes.
Surprise.
How is it possible that each game gets uglier than the last? Like, there are no good teams,